Hello, my name is Victoria Kubiak and I'm one of the nutritional therapists here at Penny Bron. We do one-to-ones, I help with courses, and I'm also the main cookery demonstrator. So here I am in the demonstration room, enticing you into the world of nutritious and easy cooking. So I hope these series of short films inspire you into trying some of these dishes at home. And today is one of my favourite dishes because it's so adaptable, and that's the sweet potato dal. So this can be used hot, it can be used cold, it can be used as a side dish or a meal in itself. One of the things I did before filming started was to low and slow onions, which I can see here with the leeks, along with some bay leaf, which is antibacterial, always a good idea to start a meal with that, and also some sprigs of rosemary. Rosemary helps to assimilate fat. So that is lovely for its benefits, but also it creates such a wonderful aroma. So smelling that is almost like a safety net. I know I'm going to be producing a lovely meal, tasty for everyone to enjoy. So I'm just going to put the heat on low, let it cook that little bit more. And just to show you how I produced those, I just took an onion, topped off the top, peeled off the outer layer and the second layer, so we just cut that off. And just to cut it in half, keep the base on, and very quickly just cut on through. And then the other direction, so we've got some nice little cubes going in. So that's then how I would do the onion. I'll put a little bit extra in there. There we are. With regard to the leek, I would take the leek, keep the lid on at the bottom, cut it through again by turning, and then you've got some nice little elements which won't take very long to cook, because this whole recipe will only take around about 10 minutes. So again, that gives you an idea on how to do that. Pop some of that in as well. So, whilst that's slowly and lowly, put that to one side, cooking, you can hear a nice little sizzle. A sizzle is a lovely, lovely word. We know everything's in hand when something is gently sizzling. So into that pan, I'm now going to embrace the world of herbs and spices. They're great for their culinary flavour, but herbs and spices have been used by Greeks and Romans and Egyptians for thousands and thousands of years. They knew so much about how they could help with our health and help with our digestion. So putting it down a bit, I'm going to include some cumin, around about a teaspoon of each. So cumin seeds I'm using because that's what I like in this dish. So cumin, and for that matter, caraway and fennel seeds, really help to dispel wind or digestive bloating. So always a useful one to put in. I'm going to put some of that in. I'm reaching for mustard seed. This gives us an element of pungency, and bitter, pungent and sour flavours will help with our digestive system. They support the liver. We've got lovely juniper berries, not used particularly well unless it's to do with gin, but juniper berries have a lovely piquant juiciness to them. So I actually keep them whole, put them in for people to enjoy as a party in the mouth. I think one of the Simpsons once said, "I've got a party in my mouth and everyone is invited," which I think is lovely. I'm reaching for turmeric. And the reason for turmeric is that it's got so many good research elements behind it. It's anti-inflammatory, can be used for lots of different ailments, including cancer. This is a lovely orange dish anyway with the red lentils, so it enhances the colour. So I'm just going to put some turmeric in as well. I'm reaching then for herbs and spices which can help to support our digestive enzymes. So first of all, paprika and also chili do very similar jobs. But paprika has the sort of character of doing things in a little bit of a cuddly way, and chili is a little bit more gung-ho. So I'm going to put some paprika in. Again, lovely for its flavour and for its colour. That's going to be gently supporting the digestive enzymes, but also just a little bit of chili. And chili flakes are so helpful because you can put them in absolutely according to your taste and to your level of heat. So not too many, because I don't like too much heat in this dish. And now I've got the opportunity to stir them around, let them again sizzle through. They dry up a little bit as the oil. The oil I used here, by the way, was a combination of coconut fat and olive oil. And I think that combination works well because it certainly means that you can keep that temperature low and slow, without destroying some of the oil benefits. Right, let's put in the sweet potato next. Sweet potato, there's around about 400 different sorts of sweet potato, I believe. They've been used and found since prehistoric times, so people have found sweet potato in prehistoric caves. And I always think, if something's been around for so long, it pretty much must be okay and good for man. So, it's a super little vegetable because it's so adaptable. It gives you the opportunity to jacket it, boil it, roast it, and great for its carotenoids as well, that lovely orange colour. So I'm just cooking it into cubes, as you can see there. I've kept the skin on because there's benefits within the skin as well. It's also helpful for its vitamin C. Little cubes going in. And that's how I would do the sweet potato. I'm just going to add some more in, which I previously prepared. Stir it in, and then that all needs to be cooked up within a stock alongside the red lentils. So now we've got a good amount of protein going in there along with the fibre. So it's going to help to balance your blood sugar levels. So I'm putting in the red lentils. The beauty about red lentils is that you don't have to pre-soak them. And I'm going to add into that roughly about a litre of vegetable stock. If you're interested, I tend to use the Marigold Vegetable Boudin low salt. So that's the one I tend to use. But I'm sure you will actually also know your own sort of stocks that you like. So a bit of vegetable stock, it's around about a litre. I'm not going to put it all in together. I'm just going to make sure that we do an element. Can you hear that sound? It's going to the right temperature. That's lovely. So in goes the stock. I'm just going to let that boil up for around about 10 minutes. We only really need to cook this for around about 10 minutes because I've done the onions beforehand and that was low and slow for around about 5 to 10 minutes. So that I'm going to now put up the heat. There we are. Put in, give it a good old stir. I'm going to put in the other ingredients towards the end, which we're going to use sun-dried tomatoes and olives, but I'm just going to pop the lid on and let that simmer for around about 10 minutes. And then we'll have a look to see how we can finish it off. So coming back to this within around about 10 minutes, I'm just going to open the pan and have a look to see how it's doing. You can see that there's still a little bit of mixture there, but when I stir it around, it's all becoming lovely and creamy. So I might just add a little bit more stock in there, which will bring it up to roughly the litre that we talked about. And to finish it off, gosh, that looks so lovely in itself, but it needs a little bit more colour, doesn't it? Because we know the importance of moderation, variety and colour. So I'm just going to put in some sun-dried tomatoes, helpful for their lycopene, and stirring that in like that. We'll finish it off by also adding in some olives. These are from a jar, and olives have got plenty of different qualities for them to help us with our immune system. So I'm just going to sprinkle those onto the top as well. And now it's time just to finish off as far as flavour is concerned. And we can just put in a little bit of tamari soy sauce if we wanted that element of a little bit more saltiness, and also the pungency from the sourness of the lemon as well. So I'm just going to have a little taste. Does this need... Yes, it does need just a little bit of tamari. I would suggest tamari. It happens to be wheat-free, but is also fermented for around about 3 years. So it's a really nice quality soy sauce. And a nice squeeze of lemon. Sourness often helps you recognise the layers of flavour that you've been able to create within your dish. Again, a gentle stir. I think that's going to be doing it. Again, the opportunity for another little taste. That's it. Oh, particularly with the lemon. Brilliant. So to finish it off, I'm just going to take a good handful of parsley. Don't be too mingy on that. So a good handful. Parsley in itself, really helpful for a range of particularly different minerals. So we're just putting in a little bit of parsley. And then optionally, always an opportunity to look at how we can embrace our nuts and seeds. So I've got some roasted seeds as well to add in. So with the parsley, whether it's flat or curly, I don't think it really makes that much difference. So I'm just going to sprinkle that on the top. It's just such a lovely dish to look at. Super to have it in the pan, so we can just bring it to the table and serve. And in here we have some slightly roasted seeds. We've got pumpkin, sunflower, and some pine nuts and some hemp seeds. So I'm just going to pop those on the top just to add a little bit of a crunch. And as I say, we can now serve this to the table as a meal in itself. We could serve it up with some curry if you wished. What I tend to do a lot at home is to take this pan and I would put some white fish on the top or some trout fillets and just pop the lid on and just let it cook through very gently for around about 5 minutes or so that the fish would be gently cooked. If you wish to, at Christmas time, I will often chop up some chicken and then just stir it into it, or some turkey. And also just to remind you that it's lovely cold the next day as part of your salads, and it freezes very well. So, easy dish. Let me just put this to the camera so that you can really have a lovely look at it. And as I say, easy to do, nutritious, and I really hope that you enjoy doing it at home.